Hello and welcome to another episode of Bloodhouse, the show where we talk about art house horror. I'm Joshua Conkle.
And I'm your co-host, Drusilla Adeline. How are you doing this week, Josh?
I am doing great. Yeah, nothing much to write home about or complain about. Everything's hunky-dory here. Wait, did I say honky-dory?
I mean,
I meant to say hunky-dory.
it is honky-dory as well. We are honkies, we can admit it.
It's true. In fact, I am a white person, but I do apologize for using a reverse racism slur. Quote unquote reverse racism.
Well, I'm glad that we finally come to the coming out episode of yes, you are Caucasian.
What if we turned this into like an alt-right horror podcast?
Next week's guest, Eli Roth.
Yeah. Wait, is he like alt-right?
He's pretty right-wing, yeah.
Oh no.
You saw Green Inferno, right?
I didn't actually. I've never seen that.
Don't.
Yeah, it just felt like it was going to be too Cannibal Holocaust for my taste, and so I just didn't see it.
Any percent of Cannibal Holocaust is too Cannibal Holocaust for my taste.
Agree. Listener, you should know by now that Drusilla nor I is alt-right. We're only joking. Yeah, what have you been doing? What's up? How's it going?
It's been pretty good. I've had a very wonderful week. It's been very active. I'm just really vibing. I'm playing with bands again. I'm getting out about and doing things and loving Los Angeles for the first time in it feels like years.
Yeah, that feeling is in the air that the world is opening up. I mean, pandemic is not over, truthfully, but Los Angeles is like, whatever. It's sun is out, buns are out.
Yeah, and listen, I'm still masking everywhere I go, and people give me weird looks because I'm still wearing my mask, and they're always like, you know, you can take that off, and I'm like, yeah, I see that based on your open mouth at me right now.
Also, like, mind your own business. Excuse you. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Rude. But it's been a great thing, and I think the thing that has helped my kind of mental health basis, and this is going to be a very mental health focused episode anyway, so it's good to start on positive notes, is that I've watched more movies this week than like every week of this year. I am back at my rhythm, and I am so fucking happy about it.
Same. I was like, what am I going to talk about? Not because I didn't watch anything, but because I watched
so many things.
I watched so many movies this week.
I watched so many movies and so much TV. And I also like did my job and like I've been more productive in my life on top of that, while also fitting time for like a million movies. So okay.
Hit me with some. Let's go.
I'm just gonna rattle off some of the like bangers that I watched for the very first time this week.
Okay.
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Scorsese film. Holy shit. Loved it. Love
that movie.
A Raisin in the Sun with Ruby Dee.
Oh, I've never seen the movie of that, but I've seen the play twice. And of course I went to theater school, so I've done a deep dive of that script.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Beautiful
For my money, that is one of the greatest stage scripts ever.
It's gorgeous.
Like it is perfect. That is like the epitome of what you should be doing with
when you go to theater school, often freshman year, that's the one they'll have like some kind of class that'll be called like script. It's basically about breaking down scripts, and that's the one that they give you because it's such a good script and there's so much subtext to explore and stuff like that. So that's often like a thing that freshman theater majors will study.
Meanwhile, in film school, the script that you're taught to break down is Tootsie. Anyway. And then I also watched Shaft for the first time.
Never seen.
A badass motherfucker.
Yeah, I've heard.
Pretty good. It's got a great end set piece. I watched the Ealing political comedy Passport to Pimlico, which is a delight.
Don't know it.
It feels like a Simpsons episode. It's about a town in England that has to explode an unexploded bomb after World War II. And they find buried French treasures underneath the town. And they find out that their town is actually the last remaining bit of land from the Bergman Empire. So they secede from England and make their own little town.
Oh, that's such a good premise.
It's delightful.
What's that called?
Passport to Pimlico.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And if you're a fan of Hitchcock's The Lady Vanishes, Charters and Caldecott, from that movie show up in this.
Hmm.
They like popped up in a bunch of like British like thrillers and comedies and like movies in the 30s and 40s just because they were such a like, and they're obviously a gay couple in every single thing that they're in. They're obviously a gay couple. I love them. I also watched Mike Leigh's Secrets and Lies.
Love Secrets and Lies.
Which is amazing. I don't know why I waited so long. I love Mike Leigh. Life is
Mike
Sweet
Leigh is
one
all
of my
bops.
favorite films. Yes.
Yeah.
Bops galore. And then I saw Sunday in New York with Jane Fonda for the first time.
Never seen it, actually.
It's cute. It's got a really good cast. I love
Jane Fonda has my same birthday, so we're like basically the same person.
Well, I look forward to your exercise workout tape.
I could do one. I work out.
Yeah, you do. I would watch that.
Drusilla's like, I don't know about that.
No, I just know that like it would be you at the back with Edie teaching the class, and that's
it's true. Yeah.
And then I wrapped the week off with Love Jones from '97.
I haven't seen that either. I know it, but I haven't seen it.
Which most notably co-stars Forrest from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Who's Forrest? I'm racking my brain.
He's one of the military bros from season 4.
Oh no, not that subplot. Not Riley and the initiative. Like
he's like Riley's bro who's like in love with Riley. He's like, "Why are you bringing that Buffy girl around? You know I'm in love with you."
Season 4
he's
of
that
Buffy
guy.
is so good, except for the initiative. Is like, listen,
yeah.
As somebody who works on these kinds of shows, anytime a supernatural drama brings on a subplot about a secret government agency that destroys vampires or something, it's like a flop. It's like so bad. It's like, do not make that mistake, shows. Do not. Apparently I tweeted that once, and then my friend who's in the room for Legacies brought it up on their television screen in the writer's room, and Legacies like does that in season 1. but apparently they were good-natured about it, and they all laughed about it. But
good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's so upsetting because season 4 of Buffy has some of my favorite episodes. Like
100%.
Something Blue is one of the best episodes that show ever put out. Hush is amazing. Yeah. And like they brought Spike into the main cast, who is forever and always my boy. And it's so funnier than any of the other seasons. And in like the relationships are so great, except for the corn-fed Iowa Republican military guy who becomes her love interest for the season.
The worst.
The season after her love interest is a woman, they're like, we got to give her a white conservative dude.
Yeah. I love season 4. Big season for corsets and ponchos, fashion-wise. Willow is always wearing tiny ponchos, and Tara's always in weird Disney corsets.
Yeah, it's a season we get Tara introduced. We get a great Halloween episode, and then we get 2 separate haunted house episodes.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a great one. And then it ends on the dream sequence episode.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, great season.
Great season. I love Buffy. Anyway. I have to also mention one other thing. Our Flag Means Death.
Oh, have you been watching that?
I've been watching that. Again, listeners, you will know that we record in advance, so some time has passed. However, this week was the season finale of Our Flag Means Death, and my God, my heartstrings were pulled and crushed and lifted aloft by the Gay Pirate Show. Go watch the Gay Pirate Show. It is the best.
Well, now that I know it's gay, I will. I really love What We Do in the Shadows. And full disclosure, I shouldn't really say this on a podcast, but I interviewed for his upcoming Netflix adaptation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and didn't get it. So ever since then, I've been feeling annoyed with Taika Waititi because I didn't get that job, and I honestly should have gotten that job. There's just not a reason.
You should have gotten that job. You're born for that job.
I know. And I will never watch that adaptation as long as I live.
Fair. That's fair and understandable. I have the same thing with projects.
Yeah.
However, I mean, it's a great, great show. There are a multitude of great romances on it, all of which are queer. And it is so touching and so heartwarming, while also being so freaking hysterical and stylized and sexy and fun. And like, you get a non-binary pirate who is outrageously hot and like the coolest, most adept of them all. You get Will Arnett coming back as doing what Will Arnett does in every sitcom, and i.e. play a gay man. And the like central like love affair is so tender and sweet and beautiful. And in the background of it all, there's like a third additional gay pirate love affair that's just sweet and casual, and like there's no build up to it. It just all of a sudden that's a couple, and everyone on the ship is like, yep, we love them so much, they're the best. And you're just like, they've been burying the lead on this. They've just been selling it as like a pirate comedy for the guys who made Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, it sort of seems like a bromance.
Oh, no. Drop that B. It's a capital R.
Love that. Love gay pirates.
I love gay pirates. Oh my god, I love this show so much. Josh, what have you been watching? Give me your list.
Well, I'm just going to list, I think, 3, maybe 4. First things first, I feel like there should be like a sound effect for this. Bergman Report. I watched Ingmar Bergman's Cries and Whispers for the first time, which I really loved. I feel like I hate saying this because it makes me feel like a regular person, which I'm not. But like at first, it was a little bit hard for my contemporary attention span for about 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. But once I hooked into it, I just loved it. I love the way that it looks. It's actually very similar to The Devils aesthetically in that the whole room will be red from carpet to ceiling, and then they'll be just like in a simple white nightgown. So that like red and white aesthetic. I had no way to predict what that woman was going to do with the shard of glass. I did not know that was coming. I was very shaken by that. But yeah, I thought it was beautiful. I really loved it.
It's a really, really great film. And the red fades between scenes or so. Yeah. Someone, I think in an interview with Bergman, someone asked him about the use of red in like all over in that movie. And someone asked it like, oh, is it like it's associated with women and it's like a period thing? And Bergman was like, no, I think the human soul is red.
Oh.
And he said that movie takes place inside of the human soul.
Yeah.
And
it feels
that
like
is so on the, it's, oh my God. So
it feels to me like a sort of really arty haunted house movie, which I know I don't think is the intention, but that's the way that it feels. You're sort of like in and out of time, and a character will be dead, but then they're in the next scene, and it sort of feels like season 2 of Haunting of Bly Manor, where all the ghosts are sort of don't realize that they're ghosts, and they're sort of trapped in these loops. And
no, I think that's a very astute way of putting it, especially for that movie. It's got that like Edgar Allan Poe quality to it.
Yeah, it's not a horror movie at all, listeners, so don't misunderstand me.
But it has that atmosphere, and
it's definitely haunting.
Yeah,
in the literal sense.
I think Bergman, because of his, we talked about this last week, but the way that he is treated as this big art house auteur, he's only ever seen in that light, despite the fact that his movies are frequently hysterical. Very, very funny. His movies are very, very scary frequently. Yeah. And then you also see some like really gross bodily stuff in his movies too. John Waters used to always refute the like King of Puke title and say, no, that's Bergman.
Yeah, I mean, this movie included a woman sticking a shard of glass up her vagina. So, not for the faint of heart, perhaps. But a beautiful movie that I liked very much.
Highly recommended. Watch it with your mother.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the movie Kids with my mom, so this is not a lot worse.
My mom showed me Boogie Nights. It's fine.
Yeah. On the opposite, the diametrically opposed end of the spectrum, I watched the newly restored 1980 movie Alligator. What a blast.
Starring Lolita Sue Lyon in one scene.
Yeah, it's great. There's a scene where it's about a 40-foot long alligator that's in the St. Louis, Missouri sewer system. And the climax is this alligator attacking like a hoity-toity wedding. And it slaps. It's so good. Like there's so many good sequences in this movie. So yeah, that's out now. I rented it from somewhere widely available. I had it in my like kinder trauma files, I think, because I definitely saw it as a child on VHS. And yeah, great movie.
I need to see it. I've wanted to see it for a long time. I'm glad that Scream Factory restored it.
Yeah. Then a new movie that's on Shudder. I believe it's a Shudder exclusive that I really enjoyed called I Blame Society, which is a dark comedy written by, starring, and directed by this young woman whose name escapes me. And I'm so sorry right now. But it's a very dark comedy about it's sort of like Dog Bites Man. She's a serial killer who's making a documentary about killing people. But she's like sort of a vapid Instagram Hollywood type. And she's just like a super unlikable character in the most delightful way ever. It's viciously funny. And just loved it. So that's I Blame Society.
Yeah, I Blame Society is great. The director is a delight. Do
you know her?
She reached out to me in December to do artwork for the Shudder release of the movie.
Oh.
But unfortunately, I was booked and wasn't able to take it on, and I felt really bad about it because the movie's phenomenal.
It's really good. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So mean-spirited. I've said this on the podcast before, but I really miss dark, mean comedies, and this is definitely in that oeuvre.
Yeah. There's another great dark, mean comedy that came out very recently that it reminded me of, like, only in tone, not in content, because they're very, very different movies. But Dinner in America.
Oh, I heard about that.
With Kyle Gallner, who is like, is Scream King.
Yeah.
It is a great suburban punk romance that is fucking hates the world. And that is great. The kind of comedy it has. And it's so good. You need to give it a watch. It's not available in America, which is so frustrating considering it is.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. Rights distribution. It hasn't gotten used distribution, but you can watch it on the Arrow streaming platform. If you use
that.
Yeah, if you use a VPN to watch it in the UK. Or you can get import a disc, but it's super good. I highly recommend it. It played Nightstream a couple years ago, and it is the bomb.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else have you been watching?
One more thing that I'll shout out quickly. I got the newly restored 4K Blu-ray of one of my favorite childhood movies. All children love this movie, I'm sure. From 1986, Reform Schoolgirls, starring Pat Ast and Wendy O. Williams, and I showed it to a bunch of friends last night and had a great time. I
also just picked up the new copy of Reform Schoolgirls. I'm so happy that we have.
Have you watched it yet?
I haven't watched the new restoration of it. No,
it's good. Yeah, I mean, we've shouted them out before, but Vinegar Syndrome, like, amen for them. God bless. Like,
and also
they're doing the Lord's work. Or Satan's work, more likely. Very
much so. And the level of like heavyweight talent on that disc doing the special features is insane. Liz Perchel, Michael Verratti, Peaches Christ.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So good. I love that movie.
To celebrate that movie. Oh my God. When I was doing the Dead for Filth podcast with Michael, we recorded it at my old offices years ago. And I had a Reform Schoolgirls poster hanging up in that office. And every single time he would come in to record an episode, he would sit there on our couch and point at it and be like, that is the best movie. And I was like, yeah, Michael, it's great. I have the poster for a reason. And he would comment it every single time. And now I have a Blu-ray with him on it talking about that movie. And it makes my soul happy.
Reform Schoolgirls Hive, rise up, because I feel like I've spent 30 years talking about this movie and didn't know that other people also grew up on this and loved it until now. Now that everyone's coming out of the woodwork and it feels so great. So yeah, that's it for me. Drusilla, what are we watching this week?
We are delving into one of my absolute favorite eras of horror movies and art house movies, period. Early 1940s American Hollywood B-movie horror. I'm so excited to delve into Val Lewton at RKO with The Seventh Victim, an intensely underrated little satanic cult film.
Drink it, Jacqueline. There's nothing else for you to do. You've got to die.
Yeah, this movie's a delight. What's it about, Josh?
Well, it's very hard to describe, but the
yes,
short
it
version
is for a movie that's barely an hour long.
The first I guess in the simplest terms, there's a young woman named Mary who is at an all-girls college when suddenly the tuition stops being paid by her older sister, Jacqueline. Her parents are dead. Her sister, Jacqueline, raised her and has been paying her tuition, and suddenly she stops paying that tuition. And so the headmistress of the school brings Mary in and said, look, this has happened. You probably should go to New York and find out what happened to your sister. But, you can stay and live with us if it doesn't, you can't find her. Then Mary goes to New York and an investigation begins. There are 100,000 characters and twists and turns that it boggles my mind to even try to put them in order for you now, but I'll just say all roads lead to a secret satanic society
in Greenwich Village.
In Greenwich Village, like a sort of bohemian, elegant Satanist cult that is after her sister. And that's the first plot point and the last plot point. And in between, there are 5 million plot points that I just I don't have the brain power to put in order for you. It's very film noir, gothic film noir, and has these sort of course, satanic cult touches that most film noirs don't have.
And it's stars a huge cast. Mm-hmm. Kim Hunter in one of her first roles.
It said introducing Kim Hunter, I believe.
I think
opening titles.
It might be her first, and she's the lead of the movie.
Yes, she plays Mary.
Yeah, and then George Sanders' brother Tom Conway, reprising his role as Dr. Lewis Judd from Cat People.
Cat People.
So I think this makes this a prequel to Cat People, and I guess establishes the RKO cinematic universe.
Well, yeah. Well, that's important. I'm glad that you said that, because this movie happened because RKO in the early 40s hired Val Lewton in the specific hopes that he could recreate the success that Universal had in the 30s with their monster movies like Frankenstein and Dracula. So they had a deal with Val Lewton that he could do whatever he wanted as long as it didn't cost more than $200,000, and that the movie didn't go over 75 minutes. And the other catch was that RKO got to title the pictures. Yep. So with those parameters in mind, Val Lewton made the craziest movies. I mean, the thing about the Universal monster movies is that they're so simple. It's Dracula, it's Frankenstein. He made this and Cat People, and I Walked with a Zombie, and he his movies for RKO are truly batshit.
But you hear the title in I Walked with a Zombie or The Curse of the Cat People, and you're like, I know what I'm getting into here. And then you put on something like The Curse of the Cat People, and it is a Christmas movie about a child who is lonely, and her imaginary best friend.
It's wild. This movie is wild too.
Yeah, this movie's wild, and because it doesn't have as prurient of a title as The Leopard Man or Isle of the Dead, it doesn't get as much immediate viewership. But there's a very haunting, surreal atmosphere to the whole movie that it's become kind of the cult film of Val Lewton films.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. It did not perform as expected when it was released, and the criticism that it got was that the plot was hard to follow or sort of incomprehensible, which I think is a little bit true, but I actually don't fault the movie. I think that's one of the joys of the movie is how weird it is, and I've seen it twice now, and both times I've watched it, I think from time to time, does this make sense? But it also sort of doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, there's a couple points along the plot that you're kind of but why? For instance, there is a character who is murdered, and the body is disposed of, and then there's a boy shouting on the street, murder, 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 in the papers. Extra, murder, murder. And then they pick up the newspaper and oh, it's a different murder. They never found that guy's body. Okay, cool. Yeah. And you're all right, well, then that's forgotten. The police don't know about this guy being dead. Fine. And then 40 minutes later, they're yes, this person killed that man. And they now have to pay for their crimes. And it's the police don't know about the body.
Yeah.
We don't have to protect this person from having committed this murder. No one knows about the murder.
Part of why it's hard to follow might be that Val Lewton and Mark Robson cut 4 major sequences out of the movie to make it under time. And I don't know what those were, but it's thought that perhaps that's part of why it's a little convoluted.
It's interesting because there's a lot of little subplots that are brought up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then not mentioned again that just kind of add flavor to things. There's a scene near the end of the movie where there's a very, very tense standoff happening involving this sinister cabal of Satanists.
Mm-hmm.
And it cuts away to a scene of a poet and a psychiatrist who are like kind of hinted to be exes.
Yes.
Having a discussion in which the psychiatrist reveals that the poet's deceased lover, which we've never heard about until now.
Never. I was like, did I miss something? But I didn't.
Has been, in fact, alive this whole time and committed to an institution by said psychiatrist, to which the poet is shocked and says, but you've been my friend this whole time. And then they cut back to the sinister cabal of Satanists in their standoff. And the next time that we see the psychiatrist and the poet again, they're just like walking out of the apartment building being like, well, do you want to get dinner together? And you're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Something major just got revealed between you guys. And it's like in the last 5 minutes of the movie, it's never brought up ever again. It makes no change on these two men's relationship. It's fucking fascinating.
Yeah. In the hopes of putting this plot into perspective for people, I guess, so Mary leaves school and comes to New York to find her missing sister. It kind of plays as if her sister has been killed or has disappeared in some way. That's not true, which we'll find out soon. But so she goes to her sister's place of business. Her sister owns a cosmetics company and salon, which is so chic. And then you find out that her sister has like sold this business to this other woman. Then Mary goes and happens upon somehow her sister's, we think, boyfriend. We later find out that they're married, which is a big secret. His name is Ward, Jason Ward, I believe. And then there's like sort of an investigation where they're, looking for her sister, who eventually we find out is not dead, but is in hiding because she has, quote unquote, betrayed this secret satanic society that she was a member of, and they're after her. So that's kind of the rough beats of the movie. But it's weird. It's weird.
And yet, like, there's a scene in this that I think like perfectly epitomizes this movie in terms of its level of terror, but also like the tone and kind of world that this movie has. And I also think it was a really, really big influence on a certain scene in Mulholland Drive.
Which one?
So in this movie, young Mary goes to the police to report a missing person to find her sister, and immediately a scuzzy PI comes up to her and says, oh, hey, yeah, I'll help you find your sister. Yeah, you just give me a retainer. $50 toots, and I'll search all the morgues in town, honey.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I don't have any money, sorry. And then some other mysterious figure grabs him and says, do you know who I am? To which he just says, yes. And he says, she's looking for
Jacqueline?
Jacqueline. Don't lay off. Forget about this girl. Forget about Jacqueline. To which the private eye is immediately like, well, I'm on the case now. You told me not to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So he goes to Kim Hunter and says that he has a lead on where her sister is. He thinks he like snooped around the cosmetics factory off screen, which would have been fun to see. And they let him every room except for one, which was locked. And he's like, I think she might be in there. And Kim Hunter immediately, it's like 10 at night. Kim Hunter's immediately like, oh, let's go right now. If she's there, I want to go. And immediately the PI is put off by this. He's very unnerved. He doesn't like the idea of going back there, especially not at night. And she says, well, I'm going. And he decides to go with her to keep her safe. And there's a scene when they break into the cosmetics factory, and there's just a long hallway in front of them, and the tone and the whole movie shifts. The pace like grinds to a halt. They're just two characters in a dark hallway.
Yeah.
She asks where the door is. He says it's at the end of the hall, and they both stand there looking at it. Neither of them want to go down the empty dark hallway.
Yeah. It looks very German expressionism. It's very shadowy and scary.
They both just looked terrified.
It reminded me of the scene at the beginning of the movie Clue, where everyone's going to the house, and then she's like, "Why is the car stopped?" And he goes, "It's frightened." Yeah, it has that feeling about it, but not comedy.
Yeah, no. The scene in Mulholland Drive that it reminds me of is the two men at the Winky's diner describing the nightmare about the man in back of that place.
Mm-hmm.
Because
God, that scene is so scary,
and I think this scene is like, you know, equally scary because he does not want to go there. He like has told her he does not want to go there, and she says it'll be fine. And they stand at the end of the hall, and he's like, "Go on, go if you want to go open that door." And she eventually convinces him to go do it. He walks down the hallway, disappears into darkness. And then we watch Kim Hunter slowly back further away from the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
A security guard enters a different room, and she starts to get anxious that they're going to get caught by the security guard. And so she goes to get him from the door to let him know the security guard is there. And then the PI just starts shuffling back towards the camera and away from her silently, and then just collapses dead, bleeding from his chest.
Yeah, he's been stabbed in that room.
And it's so terrifying and so unnerving. And then, to make matters even weirder, she flees. She hops on the 14th Street subway station, hops on the train, takes it all the way to the end and back again, until it comes back to the 14th Street subway station, at which 3 drunk men enter the subway train dressed in like a top hat and tails.
Yeah, so chic.
Looking chic and soused. Until she realizes that the man in between that they're holding up is actually the dead PI.
Yeah.
So she knows who it is, and she knows that he's dead, but they don't know who she is. And
that sequence is great for another reason, too, which is that I used to live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. That's the train line. So it's the 14th Street L train today. So it's going east-west into Brooklyn, across Manhattan and into Brooklyn. And she tries to get help several times on the train, but no one can help her because literally every person on the train is drunk and passed out, basically. Every single person in every single car. And that's true to this day. Like if you're on the L train at 10 or 11 or later on a Friday night, every single person will be fucked up. And I would think that all the time when I would be sober on the L train at night, and everyone is standing. It's packed. Like that train is always packed, and everyone is so fucked up. And I would think, God, anything could happen right now to me, because I've seen this movie. You know, I've seen Dressed to Kill. I know that fucked up things happen on the subway. I was like, anything could happen to me, and no one would do anything because everyone on this train is drunk except for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Can we talk about her sister Jacqueline for a minute?
Oh my god. Jean Brooks as Jacqueline.
She's shockingly glamorous to the point where I gay gasped the first time I saw this when they reveal her, because she looks like a glamorous old Looney Tunes character. She's wearing, like when the Looney Tunes do Katharine Hepburn, that's the vibe she gives off, because she's wearing a fur coat with giant shoulders. She has dyed black hair that's in a very severe bob with very blunt bangs. She looks exactly like the DuckTales villainess Magica de Spell, who's like the goth. I don't know if she was a witch. She was a duck witch, and that's who she looks like. She's great. She's the best part of the movie.
She's the best part of the movie. She does not show up until 30 minutes, like at the exact 30-minute mark of the movie. She shows up, does not say a word, puts her finger to her lips to shush Kim Hunter, goes back behind a door, and then is not seen again for another half hour.
Yeah. And we learn, and you really miss her too. I mean, I do. I was like, where's that woman? Where's Jacqueline? We learned that
It's perfect because it makes the audience be like, oh, but where is she?
Where is she?
Give her. We
It's
want her.
It's like the Simpsons when they introduce Poochie, and the dumb network executive is like, anytime Poochie's not on screen, everyone should be asking, "Where's Poochie?" That's how I felt about Jacqueline.
It feels like the SpongeBob gag where they have the talent show where SpongeBob sticks a hand out and the whole crowd cheers, and then one bit of Squidward comes out and there's just nothing.
Nothing.
As soon as Jean Brooke shows up on screen, every queer of the audience is just hooting and hollering.
Yeah, you're not looking anywhere else except for at her.
She looks so 90s goth in a very specific way.
Love it.
She was 50 years ahead of her time.
You could basically hear Portishead playing anytime she was on screen. You learn that her character has become somewhat of a libertine, and she's fallen in with this secret society of Satanists called the Palladists. But then at some point she decided it wasn't for her, and she decided to quit the secret society, which they consider a betrayal, which by their code means that she has to die. And there have been 6 people before her, so she will be
the seventh victim.
The seventh victim. So it's all about escaping. I love her. I don't know why she wanted to leave the secret society, because as far as I can tell, they seem to be chic and smart and cool. And that's like a major shortcoming of some of these satanic cult movies to me, because it's like, who wouldn't want to be a part of this cult?
Yeah. So the cult of Satanists are all just like cool queers who just do like card
Greenwich
tricks.
Village in the 40s. I mean,
like one of the women only has one arm and she's like hot as hell. Like, come on, dude. Why do you not want to hang out with these people?
If you had to choose between those chic Satanists and hanging out with Mary and Jason Ward and that broke ass poet, Gregory Ward, thank you. Who are you going to pick? I mean, of course you're going to pick the Satanist.
Your dull lawyer husband, or the obvious girlfriend that you have who's in the Satanists with you.
You know those Satanists sit around smoking opium and talking about Jack Kerouac and listening to jazz records and all of that shit. Like, that sounds so much better than whatever Mary's got going on.
Yeah,
to me.
I know. It's
even in Rosemary's Baby, like, you're supposed to think that guy is a bad guy because he sells his baby for Hollywood stardom, but I'm sorry to tell you, Drusilla, I would sell your baby in a heartbeat if it meant that I was like the most successful screenwriter in Hollywood. No shade. I love you, but that baby'd be gone.
Well, listen, you can't. I've already made certain deals. That's not on the table. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I think that now leads us into the queerness of Seventh Victim, which has to be discussed. So part of the reason why this movie has kind of sustained a cult following is because it is, oh my god, so gay. This movie is, oh my god, so gay. It is so gay, like, in every possible respect. There are 2 straight characters in the whole movie.
And they're the most boring ones.
And they're your leads who you spend most of the time with. And everyone else in this whole world. But the way, I don't know, just the way they build up a whole world around them. For instance, the poet I was talking about earlier is just seen as like a drunk poet in like this Italian restaurant for like half the movie. And then the like nice, kindly Italian lady who runs the restaurant comes over to him and says, "That girl over there is sad. Go make her smile." And then he's like, "Oh, I guess I'm a character in the movie now."
It's so obnoxious. That moment made me so annoyed, because if I was at that table and that man came over to quote unquote make me laugh, I'd be flipping tables. I'd be like brandishing his steak knife, like, get the fuck away from my dinner.
But I love that he comes over and he's like, "She told me to make you laugh. I know I'm not going to try to make you laugh.
Yeah.
I knew your sister. She was great. We understood each other in a way. Yeah. I'm going to help you find her. I know someone who might help," and then takes them to his ex.
Yeah. I loved that Italian couple, by the way, because the Italian couple runs an Italian restaurant in the village called Dante's, and then above it they have a boarding house, which is where Jacqueline has been renting a room. When they actually break into that room, Jacqueline doesn't really live there, and it's just a chair with a noose over it. So that's like her "maybe I'm going to kill myself one day" room.
She has the kind of money to rent a 1-bedroom or a studio apartment in the village just to keep a chair and a noose in there, just in case she was to kill herself one day.
How chic is that?
And as her husband Gregory said, I helped her get that apartment, and it made her happy.
Yeah.
Knowing that was there made her happier and enjoy her days more.
Yeah. I love that. I love her relationship to suicide. Like, this character talks a lot about she's very fatalistic, and in fact, that apartment next door, there's a dying woman who just comes out onto the landing and coughs a lot and is like very tragic but beautiful. So it's just like a building for people who are obsessed with death, sort of. And I really kind of related. I mean, I don't mean this in a sad way or like a self-harming way or anything like that, but whenever people wring their hands about suicide narratives, like when 13 Reasons Why came out, people talked about how irresponsible it was and so on and so forth. There's like a real hand-wringing around suicide narratives. And I understand that, but I'm also somebody who really loves them. I mean, The Bell Jar is my favorite book. Love The Virgin Suicide. You know, I like these stories, and there's a comfort in them to me. And so I don't know how often I've heard somebody like articulate that the way that Jacqueline does in this movie, like sort of a fatalism and a comfort in the macabre and kind of like a doomed self-image.
Well, it's posited for her the whole movie as her kind of like control over suicide and her ability to end her life when she pleases is a part of her like libertine view on her life of she can have what she wants to have when she wants to have it.
Yeah.
She can end her life when she wants, and having the ability to end her life when she wants makes her appreciate the moments that she has in between all the more. And the movie ends with one of the most beautiful scenes in any film I have ever seen, in which Jacqueline returns to that apartment complex and bumps into Mimi, who we've only seen in the background the entire movie, walking the landing, coughing.
In a robe, bedraggled.
In a robe, looking awful. Sometimes she's just out of the corner of the frame and another character will be like, hey, Mimi! And that's all you get. Yeah. Until the very end, she bumps into Jacqueline. Two characters we've barely seen the entire movie finally meet out of nowhere. And Mimi introduces herself and says, I'm dying. I've been dying as long as I can remember. All I do is I lay and I rest and I go to doctors and I try to be better, but I can't help anything. I'm still dying. I'm always going to be dying. And Jacqueline's like, all I want to do is die. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Like, I live this whole full life, but all I want to do is die. And they like are like ships in the night. They cross paths, and she influences Mimi to go out, put on a glittery dress, and live her life. And she says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go have all the fun I used to have. And she goes back into her door and shuts it to go have a great night. To which Jacqueline says to herself, and then you'll die.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's so good.
And Jean Brooks has that like really like deep timbre to her voice that is so beautiful.
I mean, Jean Brooks is completely Lana Del Rey's doomed Hollywood aesthetic in this movie. This isn't a Hollywood movie; it's a New York movie, but you know what I mean.
It was filmed in Hollywood. Are you kidding me?
Yes, I mean RKO. I love RKO Pictures because it's like it was one of the big five. They called them studios, along with Warner Brothers and Paramount and Universal and whoever else. And it's the one that's not around anymore. And so for that reason, it feels like sort of sad and doomed Hollywood. And their studios are now where Gower, I think they were still called Gower then, but they were RKO studios on Sunset in Hollywood.
Yeah, some of the old lots have been absorbed into the Paramount lot. The thing that I find so fun about these movies is, so this was 1943. Only like 2 years before that, RKO had nearly bankrupted themselves to finance 2 Orson Welles films, Citizen Kane and The Magnificent Ambersons. And then they very unceremoniously like kicked him on his ass, recut Ambersons, burned the negative, and then their new motto after they kicked him out was like movies, not artists, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a very like dig at him, And so that was the climate at which they brought Lewton in to make all of these movies. They were like, we don't want that artsy fartsy crap anymore. Just cheap movies to get butts in seats. And then they got Lewton in to make these fucking cheap
really
artsy movies.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love about that is that, like, they spent so much money building that Magnificent Amberson's house set with the huge staircase and stuff that they got their fucking money's worth, because that staircase and that whole set shows up in every single Lewton movie after that.
Yeah.
It's in Cat People and it's in this. It opens at her, like, Catholic girls' school, and she's going up that staircase, and they get as much money off that as they can. And it's like every other, like, apartment interior after that that's like crazy nice is all just Amberson's leftover sets they wheeled out of storage. Yeah. Can we also quickly talk about the fashion in this movie?
Yes, I wrote down gowns by Renee, because that's in the opening credits. I love old movies that have gowns by.
And then always the dresser was one name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renee.
So, yeah, Jean Brooks in her, like, Joan Crawford coat, the big fur coat with insane shoulder pads, and the bob is such a fucking look. But Kim Hunter spends most of the movie with these leather gloves, a black polka dot scarf, this, like, chic trench coat, and then a beret with an insignia on the front of it. She looks like a member of the Clash. Like,
it's true, she does.
Like, it is peak lesbian fashion. She looks so hot.
Yeah.
This whole movie is just serve after serve after serve.
It is. I love a leather glove. Straight to Hell does black driving gloves, which I love. I have a pair, but I never wear them because I don't know. I just feel too shy to, and I also drive a Fiat, so it's like, where am I driving with black leather gloves?
I need black leather gloves. I drive a fucking 80s Jaguar.
I'll give them to you. They'll probably be too big for you because you have smaller hands. But, like, what am I going to drive to, like, the Whole Foods 365 with my black leather gloves and a Fiat with a dent on the side? Like,
it feels like you're making fun of my llifestyle. I drive to the corner store with my black leather gloves.
But
just
you
to
have
feel
that lifestyle. I don't have. I mean, I'm a tender queer. I can't.
Boo.
I'm not really.
No, I love Straight to Hell apparel. They should sponsor this show. We love you, Straight to Hell. Give us free leather goods.
We want your leather jackets. They're great.
Maybe they should make a Bloodhouse official leather gimp mask for the show.
Yeah. Drusilla, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who or what is your favorite cult? In movies and in real life.
Oh, I honestly, there are so, okay. First of all, I'm from Indiana, so we had cults.
Yeah.
The whole, drink the Kool-Aid Heaven's Gate cult. That was us.
People's Temple. Yeah.
The People's Temple. Yeah. That was us in Indiana. So we had.
Did they come from Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that they were in San Francisco for a long time, so they must have moved from Indiana to San Francisco.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of mass suicide cults.
Yeah,
in my home state. So there's very few, like, real cults that I'm, like, a super fan of. But when it comes to
it's hard to
cults,
laugh about mass suicide.
Yeah, but when it comes to movie cults,
yeah,
I am all about a ritual sacrifice of like one square. So, I mean, I do like the Seventh Victim cult, but I just like, for me, there's something that I love and I've always found fascinating about just like throwing away my life, going to live on an island somewhere, having a small little home in a community, maybe occasionally murdering a police officer and hanging out with Christopher Leigh. So I like the Wicker Man's cult.
Do you know what? That was going to be my answer too. I love that cult. They just like fucking do maypoles.
Yeah.
That sounds great to me.
They're having a fucking good time and they're extra as hell. You could just burn a dude at the stake, but they like go for the design. They go for the look. They go for the art. They like,
I'm into it. I love
and the
folk
animal
art.
masks. Are you fucking kidding me?
Everything about Wicker Man is chic as hell.
And they have all the songs.
Yeah, it's a musical. They just do sex and maypoles and sing songs and make folk art. And then the person that they sacrifice is some fucking Christian narc. Like, who cares about that person?
A fucking Crizzo cop? Pass.
You want to talk about propaganda? Whatever the opposite is what Wicker Man is. They like purposely seek out and kill a cop. That's like a cop killer movie. So if that's your vibe, I recommend The Wicker Man 1972.
Can we quickly talk about how in the remake of The Wicker Man, there's like a postscript scene where after they, spoiler alert, burn Nicolas Cage alive with the bees, not the bees.
Yeah.
She goes back into the city to catch another man, and it's James Franco.
Oh, is it? I don't remember that part of it. I've only seen that
Franco.
once, but I looked at my phone a lot. That movie, speaking of hometowns, that movie takes place on Orcas Island in Washington State, which is close to where I'm from.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you have better things.
Written by Neil LaBute, by the way, who's a hideous playwright who blocked me on Twitter after calling me a hack writer because I said that I hated his plays. Not to him. But this is a man who looks for mentions of his own name on Twitter so that he can fight with people who don't like him.
Well,
he's very mentally ill or something.
He's also like a misogynist, and isn't he like a Mormon?
I don't know if he's a Mormon or not, but he's definitely a misogynist.
He comes from he's from Salt Lake City and was raised Mormon or something like that. Yeah.
The Wicker Man remake is all just Nicolas Cage literally punching women. He like runs around a lesbian island punching women in the face. He does it like 4 times.
No wonder they light him on fire. I would do the same.
Yeah.
I love you, Nick Cage. I can't wait to see you as Dracula in Renfield. Let him play Egghead. I love that boy.
Great.
But if you punch my girls on the lesbian island, you know what's coming to you.
This episode has been truly all over the place. Let's get to Have They Seen It? The game where we speculate wildly about whether notable figures have seen the feature. You have anyone in mind, Drusilla?
Yeah, I mean, this is a movie about hip chic lesbians going about their day as they do, being the coolest cats around. So I was trying to think, and again, like major 90s goth chic on Jean Brooks this whole movie. So I was just thinking, who is a great hip queer lady who I really hope has seen Seventh Victim but may have not? And I don't know, do you think Carrie Brownstein has seen Seventh Victim?
Absolutely. I love Carrie Brownstein so much. I saw her perform just her and a guitar in a garage in Seattle when I was at art school.
Okay, all right.
At the same performance, Miranda July did performance art. And that was before she made movies and stuff like this.
Fuck off.
That's the perks of growing up in Seattle in the 90s, I guess.
Oh my God. The center of art and culture.
For
Seattle in the 90s. Yeah, no, I mean,
for literally 1 second. Yeah, I think Carrie Brownstein would like this movie a lot. I bet she has the Blu-ray or something.
It doesn't have a Blu-ray, and I'm sad about this every single day. It's like the one, like this, and I Walked with a Zombie, or like the 2 Val Lewton movies that have not had HD restorations. The Criterion Collection.
Let's get a collection. Come on.
God, we need it.
I was thinking about classic Hollywood, and we talked about him last week. Do you think legendary but scuzzbag but delightful film producer Robert Evans, aka Bob Evans, has seen this, and do you think he likes it?
I do not think Bob Evans ever saw The Seventh Victim, but I feel like if you ever asked Robert Evans if he saw The Seventh Victim, he could rattle off everything about the movie to you. Like,
he's a businessman.
Yeah. So you'd be like, oh, have you seen Seventh Victim? Yeah. Gene Peters, RKO, 1943. I didn't make as much as it should, but that Audi Pictures. You'd be like, yeah, okay, all right. He's probably seen it.
Yeah, I'd buy that. That's how I am with a lot of movies, by the way.
I feel like he would dig it. I mean, he was like the big Polanski stan. Like, he got Rosemary's Baby set up. I feel like he would dig this movie.
Yeah. I feel like you might be right.
Yeah. Someone else that we mentioned in this episode, in fact, that was, speaking of 1940s Hollywood, And speaking of lesbians in 1940s Hollywood, do you think Joan Crawford saw Seventh Victim? It's got her coat.
Yeah, it does. They borrowed her coat for this. I think she did. Because I feel like she saw it at a social engagement. Like she was a huge star, so I feel like she might have been at the premiere or a screening or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like she, they didn't have this in the 40s anyway, but like she's not watching this on VHS or something at home. That didn't exist in the 40s, I know. But it's just like whatever the 40s equivalent of that is, it's not that. She went to a screening or the premiere or something glamorous.
I'm sure there was like a private home screening some producer had where they can all sit around, smoke cigars in his living room, drinking highballs and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't know if she would have liked it.
I don't know. I don't know if she. I mean, yeah, I don't know. She didn't seem like a very pleasant person. I'm not sure that she liked a lot of things.
I don't know. I mean, she liked a lot of people. She liked having sex with a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, same.
But yeah, it's so weird to think about. Like, I don't know what kind of movies Joan Crawford would have enjoyed. I think she probably would have been put off by this movie solely because I think she would have seen a lot of herself in it.
Yeah.
I think the woman who buys out, quote unquote, buys out the makeup factory is Joan seen way too much of herself in her. This very toppy lesbian who's going to force everyone to do everything by her will. She would have been affronted.
By the way, is there anything better than like a satanic run cosmetics company?
I know, and they use their like satanic insignia as the new like logo for the company.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So chic. That's like straight out of Boulet Brothers Dracula,
And the scene where she's interrogating the girl who like works at the cosmetic company who's been giving away secrets to Kim Hunter. Yeah. She was just asking about the new logo, but the logo is us. She was asking about us. And then okay, I just have to mention this really fast. That cosmetics girl is like the one factory worker who like does all the styling. That is like the one like low middle class member of the Satanist cabal. Yeah. And it is then revealed that she's been in a relationship with Jean Brooks.
Yep.
Jacqueline. She breaks down in front of her and says, you can't do it. Every moment I spent with you was the best moment I ever had.
And do you know how you can tell she's working class? Is she's the only one who doesn't have that phony transatlantic accent that they have in all those 40s movies.
But like, I love those two so much as a couple because it's goth girl and bimbo. Like, that is the lesbian pairing. Couple. Like, that is like Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. I love them so much. And she's even got the like bubbly Brooklyn accent.
That's an ideal pairing. When Elvira came out of the closet a few months ago and all those pictures started to surface with her and her girlfriend, my boyfriend Joel was like, this is like us. And the girlfriend had a lot of tattoos, and I do too, right? So he was like, and you're Elvira's girlfriend. And I was like, Joel, do you honestly think that you're the Elvira in this relationship? Because I write horror movies for a living. I'm covered in tattoos. Joel is like a sweet, nerdy Latin teacher. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm both of these women. I'm sorry to say. You could be the car that they're getting out of. Do you think, you mentioned him earlier, do you think horrible historical Hollywood figure Orson Welles has seen this movie?
Why is he horrible?
I don't know. I don't like him.
I love Orson. He is a maverick and a weirdo. And Hollywood hated him, so he just fucked off to Europe and made his own shit. Mm-hmm. I think he's great. Love the dude. Love all of his movies. And you know what I love? Oh, the wines of France. I feel like, yes, Orson did see The Seventh Victim, but not in 43. At that time, he would have been
Fuck
so
RKO.
Against seeing any RKO picture. But maybe in the 70s, when he was hanging out with swinging Peter Bogdanovich, Peter had like a print of this movie, and they had a viewing party, and they watched it, and Orson probably was outrageously jealous that Val Lewton got to do so much weird, artful stuff in his wake and got to use all of his sets. He probably would have taken credit for some of the greatness of this movie. He probably would have like, well, they did it on my sets, so I can share in a bit of the glory.
I'm sure you're right.
That feels like an Orson move. I also very quickly have to mention the Peter Bogdanovich connection that this movie has, in that the dude who is married to the older sister falls in love with the younger sister around the time of her disappearance/death. And Peter Bogdanovich, notably, was engaged to Dorothy Stratton until her murder, and then shortly thereafter became romantically entangled with her younger sister.
Oh, that's so sleazy.
Yeah, and that's exactly the plot of this movie, guys. He's definitely seen it.
Yeah. I think that's it for this episode of Bloodhouse. If you like this show, please rate us on iTunes and all of that good stuff. Drusilla, where can people find you?
You can find my art and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hide Sister, and you can also find me on Letterboxd. What about you, Josh?
I am Joshua Conkle on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. You can find the show on all the socials at Bloodhouse Pod. That's HAUS. And you can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. And what are we watching next week, Drusilla?
I think we are going to kind of get a little faded and jump over to Spain for the late 70s cult classic Arrebato.
Ooh, can't wait.
Mm-hmm.